Флойд Мейвезер потрясен невероятной формой Джервонты Дэвиса перед реваншем с Ламонтом Роучем. Дэвис выглядит устрашающе, нанося молниеносные серии ударов в тренировочном лагере. Его ловкость и сила поразили даже самых преданных поклонников, указывая на его серьезное намерение полностью доминировать в реванше. Пока Джервонта Дэвис усердно тренируется, Ламонт Роуч также прилагает максимум усилий в подготовке. Оба боксера предельно серьезно настраиваются на реванш, выходя за пределы своих возможностей, чтобы отточить технику и набрать мощь. Такая самоотдача с обеих сторон обещает захватывающее и жесткое противостояние. Ламонт Роуч в тренировочном лагере готовится к одному из самых громких реваншей 2025 года против Джервонты Танка Дэвиса, одной из ключевых фигур в боксе. Многие наблюдатели считают, что слабое выступление Танка в первом бою с Роучем было обусловлено не только действиями соперника, но и личными проблемами самого Дэвиса. Сам Танк открыто признался, что переживал тяжелый период как в физическом, так и в ментальном плане, говорил о необходимости терапии и даже подумывал о завершении карьеры. Несмотря на это, он все же вышел на бой с Роучем. Теперь реванш – это шанс для Танка продемонстрировать свой истинный уровень и доказать, что прежний бой не отражает его максимум в хорошей форме. Этот поединок крайне важен, он покажет, был ли первый бой лишь неудачным вечером, или же Дэвис действительно теряет форму. Давление огромно, Танку необходимо восстановить репутацию и заставить критиков замолчать. Флойд Мейвезер долго сомневался в реальной мощи Дэвиса. Однако недавние видео с тренировок, где Танк демонстрирует взрывную работу и концентрацию, явно удивили Мейвезера. Он был вынужден пересмотреть свою точку зрения и признать, что Дэвис развивается и выходит на новый уровень.
When is Gervonta Davis going to go somewhere in a powerful power? Louis deserve to be in a powerful power? Absolutely. Do Terrence Crawford deserve to be in a powerful power? Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Tank Davis? He deserve to be somewhere also in a powerful power.
Why don't they give him that credit?
Because he was affiliated with me.
Отношения между Флойдом и Джервонтой были напряженными из-за разногласий по поводу стратегии и карьеры. Мейвезер даже критиковал решение принимать реванш с Роучем, считая это рискованным шагом. Однако после просмотра тренировок он, похоже, поражен сосредоточенностью Дэвиса. Танк понимает, насколько важен этот бой для его имени. Поражение не оставит пространства для оправданий, ставки как никогда высоки. Многие эксперты считают, что победа Роуча в первом бою переоценена. Колено Танка опустилось не из-за чистого нокаута.
When Floyd left Bob Arum, it's good for them to do it and become their own boss. And then if another guy does it, it's not good for the sport. He's disloyal. And what's wrong with Tank saying he want to be his own boss? And honestly, I've been there. The relationship between them two is very toxic. It's a toxic relationship. It's up and down and up and down. And I'm not going to elaborate to everything that I know, but it's a very toxic relationship. And that's why when I tweet stuff, I don't tweet often, but when I tweet, I may fire off 50 tweets in the day. And that's why when I tweeted certain things about the relationship, Tank retweeted it because he knows. Like, I'm not just gonna say what it is. It's a very toxic relationship. It's back and forth. And I think it will serve him best to go and be his own.
А потому что он временно потерял зрение из-за жира, попавшего в глаза. Это означает, что бой не был таким однозначным в пользу Роуча. Сейчас Дэвис возвращается обновленным и более опасным, предупреждая всех поклонников бокса. Его новая версия – это сила, с которой придется считаться. Его опасность в ринге недооценивать нельзя. Удивительно, но даже критики и те, кто обычно не поддерживает Джервонту Танка Дэвиса, предсказывают его уверенную победу в реванше. Общий консенсус таков.
People keep saying like Lamont dang near like beat Tank like clean. Like basically like we seen it like yeah, he did Tank that one, but like Tank was limping out the ring. Bro, he didn't even get over on Tank for real. Y'all only saying that because Tank took the knee. And when Tank took the knee, it wasn't how like Ryan Garcia was when he took the knee once Tank went to his body. It was like, dang, like I'm taking him and get right back up. Can you do that in boxing? No. But y'all can't say that basically that, oh yeah, he won because of the knee. That shows that people just want to see Tank lose, bruh. Cause y'all betting y'all money on basically Tank losing because of that knee. Yes, it was a good fight. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. Lamont was defending himself like he's skilled. But bruh, he ain't walk all over Tank. Tank, bruh, if y'all go back and watch the highlights, I just watched the highlights last night. Them last couple of rounds, bruh, Lamont was balled up. Tank was literally, he was trying, like you could tell Tank was like, dang, I waited too long. So he was trying to throw some stuff like to make sure he get that one blow, but it didn't work. So that's why they doing that rematch so they could start over from scratch, round 1 to round 12. We gonna start over clean and let's see what's going on now. Now y'all want to be saying, oh no, man, I ain't gonna lie. At the end of the day, the first fight is what matters. No, it don't. Tank was, look, he real enough to say, hey, bro, let's do a rematch. Now, if he ain't do a rematch, it's like, oh yeah, something going on. Nah, hush, hush. Hey, Calvin, step to the side. Let me get somebody else right now. I'm gonna be hush. Let me get back in the gym and put my hat on, and we go at it again. And I'm not gonna lie. I'm telling you, this version of Tank is gonna be dangerous, bruh. If you know about boxing, come on, it is Gervonta Davis, bruh. Dude is a beast. You think he finna walk around with that on his resume that he almost got cooked by Lamont Roach? Bruh, if he doing a rematch, he doing it for a reason. He's about to make an example out of him. I'm sorry to tell y'all. And Lamont, you're skilled, but the fact that you keep on trying to just pull that up, like that one knee. I beat him because of that one knee. You know, I don't care if he had grease in his eye or not. I whooped him because of that. Bruh, that's how you know he don't got confidence that he's a better fighter than Tank. The fact that he's trying to, because he know that chance comes once in a lifetime. That's why he's so big on trying to, go back and play the tape.
Танк полностью сосредоточен и мотивирован, поскольку этот бой напрямую влияет на его наследие. В отличие от предыдущих поединков, теперь он не отвлечен другими соперниками или боями. Он сосредоточен исключительно на Роуче. Именно эта целенаправленность, по мнению многих, поможет Дэвису вернуть свое доминирующее положение и возобновить карьерный подъем. После спорных судейских решений в первом бою
Breaking news from Mike Coppinger, Tank vs. Roach rematch has been booked for August 16th, I want to say. This fight's going to take place in Las Vegas, so no, Tank will not be fighting Jake Paul. He will not be looking at any further opponents. He's going to be fighting Lamont Roach once more. What does this mean for Tank? What does this mean for Roach? Not much. I mean, it's a rematch. Tank lost the first fight. He got to get it back, I guess. What are my predictions for this fight? I'm going to go domination by Gervonta Davis. I'm not a big Tank fan, but I don't like Roach whatsoever as a boxer. It's going to take a little bit more from Roach for me to just think that he's on the level of Tank. Like I always say, we have 25 plus fights of Lamont Roach. He's never looked like a great fighter. I don't think this fight alone makes him a great fighter. I don't think he's going to carry this momentum on into the rematch. I'm going to go Gervonta Davis, brutal, typical knockout fashion. I'm expecting Roach to vacate his 130 title, stop holding up that division. I'm expecting him to make a legit campaign at 135 after being knocked out. But you guys let me know, who do y'all got in the rematch? Did you even want to see this rematch? You guys let me know.
фанаты и аналитики требуют, чтобы реванш обслуживал беспристрастный рефери. Предыдущий судья, Стив Уиллис, столкнулся с обвинениями в предвзятости в пользу Дэвиса, что поставило под сомнение честность результата. Команда Роуча открыто заявила, что не хочет видеть Уиллиса в реванше. Все надеются на справедливое судейство, где исход определится исключительно мастерством и выступлением боксеров, исключая любые сомнения. После первого боя Дэвис дал неожиданные объяснения своей разочаровывающей форме.
You know, obviously the part with the grease in the eye, that took on a life of its own. You know what I'm saying? That was a headline in the fight. One is, what did you think when he said that initially? Just like the grease in the eye. But two is like, when you was in the fight, was there any point that you saw that? Like, did you see like him kind of messing with his eye, or did you have any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you could see him wipe his eye. And then, right after I hit him with the jab, you could see him wipe his other eye. So it's like, it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with and exactly which eye. So it's like crazy for him to say, it's grease in my eye. And I think even when he say that, you could see me, because I'm right beside him, you can see me like, nigga, what you talking about? So,
Right.
But you say you don't think he willing though.
whatever. See, but who cares? Like, sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get in your eye.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Spit fucking around and get in your eye. You know what I'm saying? But you, it's not like you can be like, all right,
no
time out,
excuse
ref. Hold on,
Right.
hold on,
Take no
ref.
time out.
You can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight.
Right.
No.
Pops, it's a no.
Hell no.
Yeah, fuck that
Fuck
nigga.
that. Yeah.
You know how many?
Put Coach Ben on him, man. He better. He lucky he ain't running Coach Ben after that fight.
But look how many times he fucked the fight up though.
Right.
The knee, him going to the corner to get assistance. Like, who knows? Not saying that they did any cheating shit or nothing like that. But like, he wiped his face with a towel. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't do none of that. That's a disqualification. You turned your back on the ref after you took a knee. Usually the ref gonna be like, all right, he don't want to fight no more. Fight's off.
Одной из его отговорок стало обвинение в адрес парикмахера, из-за которого якобы жир попал ему в глаза. Для многих фанатов это прозвучало странно и выглядело как попытка преуменьшить заслуги Роуча и избежать признания его мастерства. Это вызвало скептицизм и поставило под сомнение концентрацию Дэвиса в преддверии реванша. Недавние видео с тренировок показывают Джервонту Дэвиса, упорно работающего в зале с поразительной точностью и плавностью движений.
We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. So, Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. There was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was gonna look at that like, I don't want her braiding my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims, got all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
Первый бой также обнажил репутацию Дэвиса как бойца, выбирающего соперников, подходящих его стилю, тактику, за которую его критиковали. Роуч нарушил этот шаблон, выйдя подготовленным, дисциплинированным и тактически грамотным. Он продемонстрировал уязвимости Дэвиса, показав, что обычный план Танка может не сработать против стойкого соперника. Некоторые уважаемые представители бокса, такие как Гэри Рассел-младший, не согласны с тем, что Роуч явно победил в первом бою. По его мнению, Роуч был на уровне Танка, но не превзошел его настолько, чтобы заслужить безоговорочную победу.
That fight with Tank and Lamont Roach shows y'all how protected Tank has been for the past several years. And the people saying, oh, Tank know Lamont and he been respected Lamont because they fought in the amateurs. Man, he was cherry picking Lamont, you know, and really thought he was gonna get that win. But Lamont wasn't coming to play around. You know, he stood his ground and fought back. And to be honest, he won the fight. The rematch is gonna be a knockout.
Чтобы победить чемпиона уровня Дэвиса, соперник должен продемонстрировать явное превосходство, чего Роучу не удалось. Джефф Мейвезер, давний наставник и союзник Джервонты Дэвиса, честно высказался о первом поединке. Он отметил, что Роуч был более активным, нанося и попадая больше ударов. По его мнению, у силы Роуча
He's 100% correct. Personally, I had Gervonta Davis up a round. Because whenever you have rounds where nobody's doing anything, I'm not just going to do what most people do, and especially people that don't like Gervonta Davis, which is just give the round to the other guy because Gervonta Davis didn't manage to knock him out that round. Okay, so this is Gary Russell Jr. clearly saying, man, no, I don't think Lamont Roach won that fight. You also had Al Bernstein, and Al Bernstein, I'm telling you, is a very, very straight, fair guy who I don't know if he was on that call, but he used to work with Showtime. I don't know if he was on there. I don't recall if I heard him. I think it was Rolly Ronaldo that was calling it. But Al Bernstein, who was a very, very objective person, said, hey, look, no. Sorry to break it to you, but Gervonta Davis won that fight. Yeah, Lamont Roach put up a really good fight, but Lamont Roach was not dynamic. He did not do anything to really separate himself from Gervonta Davis. He just kept it equal. He just tried to keep it even the entire fight. And that's not enough, again, to take the belt from the champion. Now, I do want to say that the people that thought that Lamont Roach won, I don't have any problem with that. I really don't have a problem with it at all. I personally, again, had a point for Gervonta Davis, but I can see how those swing rounds really could go, depending on who's looking at it, really could go different ways, right? But I had him winning. Larry Hazard, who was the ref, who was calling it on the air, the Showtime scores, the Amazon Prime scores, had Gervonta Davis winning, I think, 115-113.
Вполне могло хватить для заслуженной победы, что добавило сложности к обсуждению исхода. Популярный комментатор и фанат бокса Соус Вока открыто заявил, что Роуч превзошел Дэвиса в боксе. По его мнению, стратегический подход и безупречное исполнение дали Роучу преимущество, которое Танк не смог нивелировать. Он считает, что любой, кто действительно разбирается в боксе, увидел бы превосходство Роуча независимо от судейского решения.
The worst decision I think I might have ever seen. I don't know how that's not a knockdown. But anyway, thoughts on the overall fight first, Jeff?
I think that it was a good fight on both sides, and I do think that Roach actually won the fight. I thought he outworked Tank. I thought that he threw more punches than Tank. It seemed like Tank was fighting like he always do. It just seemed like he was just waiting for him to figure out whoever was in front of him like he always do and then go to work. But this time when he went to work, the guy went to work back. So, he had somebody that was firing back at him. It's the same way.
Yeah, I think the commentators and most of us at home thought, kind of the same thing. You thought Roach would bank some of those early rounds to prepare for the onslaught later. And when it didn't really happen, it was pretty even. We said, well, this is going to be a one-sided fight. But yeah, it never happened. And Roach, through the latter half of the fight, actually seemed to do better than the first half.
I thought he did good pretty much all the way through the fight. There was a few rounds where he didn't do that well, but I thought he won the fight clearly. I didn't see Gervonta really the Gervonta that I know. I'm a big Gervonta fan, but I didn't see none of the Gervonta that I'm used to seeing.
Why do you think that is? Roach was pretty lightly valued coming into the fight, moving up a weight class. It's not somebody that they expected to give him a huge challenge. What do you think it was that Roach presented to Tank that made it so difficult for him?
The one thing is that he fought at the right distance, and he let his hands go, and that's the most important part. That's how you win a fight, by letting your hands go. Gervonta was sitting back, waiting like he normally does, and then all of a sudden he finishes him.
Теперь в реванше все эти споры будут наконец разрешены. Была ли это ошибка судьи? Действительно ли Роуч превзошел Танка, или же он просто сильнее? На этот раз мы получим ответ. И на этом наш репортаж заканчивается.
You think that they should have counted that point against him? Do you think Lamont Roach won, or do you think it wasn't enough?
It could be considered a rightful draw, but I also lean towards that Lamont Roach won that fight. I believe he won the fight simply because he outclassed the champ. In boxing, you have to do two things to beat the champ. You either got to knock out the champ or completely outclass the champ. But you have to beat the champ. You're not going to just get the win because you survived or you put up a good fight. Bro lost that fight.
Facts.
Like when you really, really know boxing and know boxing for what it really, really is, Tank lost that fight. No matter how much people emotions and feelings are attached to it, because Tank is a hero of the hood. The ghetto loved the Tank. Gervonta Davis has been crowned king. My personal opinion, I don't think he should take the rematch, and I think he's already done what you just said. I think off of what he's already accomplished with the draw, he's already in a life-changing situation to where he could change every person around his life forever. He's now what's called a prize fighter, guaranteed. He's now what's also called a A-side fighter right now. But if he does what I like to call the Deontay Wilder and chase the legacy of getting the win, because you thinking from more of 100% on the boxing aspect than the business aspect, which Gervonta Davis has clearly showed everybody, the larger amount of his success is from the business module of the way he does boxing that was being gifted to him through Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions and PBC. But at the end of the day, so what? That's what he's supposed to do. I'm not mad at Gervonta Davis.
Если хочешь узнать больше о невероятном мире бокса и поддержать нас, достаточно лишь пары кликов. Увидимся в следующем видео.